Welcome to the Ho-Ho Show.
Rated the #1 most listened to podcast on Pluto. So join us now as we discuss news, politics, current events, and so much more. So clear the airwaves and strap in as we
defend the Constitution, because freedom matters.
Broadcasting live from the Kida Studio, welcome to the Ho-Ho Show, and as always, I'm your host, Ho-Ho. So how y'all's doing? I hope you're doing good. I really do. So last week, I apologize. I had the show all ready to go. I was going to be doing it, but things happened. Yeah, things happened. Life got in the way. Something I had to end up taking care of, but I got it taken care of, so all's good. But the bad thing is, now there is, holy crap, so much stuff to talk about. It is not even funny. I mean, holy cow, there are so much stuff going on. We're going to kind of do two shows all wrapped up into one because we have still the stuff to discuss from last week, although not all of it. There is some stuff that I was able to squash, get out of there. But there's also stuff of what has been happening recently. And holy cow, there has been all kinds of stuff going on. I mean, wow. Now, y'all know how I like to start the show. I like to throw a little bit of funny stuff, a little bit of satire, a little bit of jokes, a little bit of ha-ha. But, you know, this is kind of one of those things and yet kind of not one of those things, because the article that I'm going to talk about, the interwebs has given us all kinds of jewels, okay? All kinds of stupid challenges and this, that, and the other. You know, the licking the doorknob, licking the toilet seat, you know, the ice bucket challenge, eating of the Tide Pods. But this one has got to be, you know, okay, I heard a recent one. It's like, you know, high level idiot, low level genius. Something like that. And this, I kind of think, kind of falls into that category a little bit because, you know, in a matter of speaking, like, yes, this is one of the stupidest things I have ever seen. But at the same time, it's like, I wonder. And that's kind of what my thought process was whenever I seen this. I was like, you know, now, obviously this is stupid. Obviously you should not do this. But if you are going to do this, then you should at least have the wherewithal to try this maybe outside and not actually in your house. Yeah, it's one of those. Let me just get into the article. This headline is from Lad Brigade, or I'm sorry. Wow, I really screwed that up. Lad Bible. All right, not necessarily a site that I use all the time, very often, but when gems like this pop up, then I got to tell you about it. Fire Brigade asks people, please stop cooking steak in the toaster. Yeah. This is apparently a real headline. I read into it a little bit because I'm like, please tell me that this is not actually going on. Please tell me that people are not actually trying to cook steak in a toaster. This is the most, and I'm like, I can halfway understand if you're trying to cook in, like, you know, one of them toaster ovens, you know, because, you know, my mom, she used to use the toaster oven for cooking all kinds of things, you know, if because that's what we had was a toaster oven. And yeah, you can use your toaster oven as a miniature oven and cook all kinds of things. And she did, you know, French fries. If she was just doing a small amount, you know, she'd cook potatoes in there. She'd cook all kinds of things in it. And yeah, that's what they're made for. So that's okay. But this isn't one of those kind of toasters. This is one of the regular toasters where you slide your bread in and then you click the button and the things come in and kind of squeeze it a little bit to keep it in place and then toast it. That's what this kind of toaster is. And apparently there's a new TikTok challenge out there. Gotta love the TikTokers cooking a raw steak in a toaster oven. But like I had said, I was like, I wonder. So local fire brigade issued a warning telling people, please don't take part in this TikTok challenge. Don't cook a steak in a toaster. Please don't do that. The trend has gotten out of hand, continues the article. The London Fire Brigade has had to issue a statement telling people not to take part in this. And I had to laugh. I really did. And in this article, there's even a video on here from TikTok of a person doing it, eating it afterwards. And I'm like, there ain't no way that toaster was going to stay on long enough to actually cook it like this. I kind of wonder how long it took. But anyway, yeah. And that's a picture of apparently what the finished product looked like. Yeah. So apparently, people are doing this. Apparently, people are cooking steaks in toasters. I wouldn't recommend it. Or at least if you're going to do it, go outside. Do it outside. Yeah. Yeah. So before we really continue, I'm actually on the main and hey, cool. And hello, Brian, over there in YouTube land. That sounds like something Brandon would do. That's not just something Brandon, I think we both would actually try doing that one. Cooking a steak in a toaster, because, okay, dude, here's the thing. Whenever I was younger, all right, I locked myself out of the house, all right? And, my parents used to have a freezer in the garage, all right? And it was kind of chilly, but not, it was fall time maybe, and we had a freezer out in the garage, and I opened up the freezer and I'm like, because, I looked, I was hungry, fat kid. And I'm like, I'm hungry. I locked myself out of the house. I got a grill. I wonder what's in the freezer. So I open up the freezer and I'm like, pizza. Yeah. If that fits on the rack, I can cook a pizza on an oven. Of course I can. I mean, I've done, different stuff. Apparently that's kind of common now, cooking a pizza on the grill. But, this was like, 20 years ago. This is a while ago. Maybe it was more than 20 years ago. I don't know. It's been a while ago. That's all I remember. But yeah, I mean, this is definitely something that we would do. But yes, I am now actually on my regular YouTube channel, The Ho Ho Show. I know that, a few weeks ago or 2 weeks ago, maybe it was 3 weeks ago, is whenever my account got banned. So there are additional places that you can find the content as backup and whatnot. So as far as the Ho Ho Show goes, I'm normally going to be on this channel. But if a strike happens and it gets shut down, then I will go to the backup, the Ho Ho Show Part 2. And of which case, all additional content, from the other podcasts and shows that I do, those are just going to automatically go to the Ho Ho Show Part 2. I'm not putting those here on the Ho Ho Show. I'm just going to put those over there on the Ho Ho Show Part 2, because this way, if something happens, that will stick around longer than what this channel will. I'm 2 strikes. Right now, I think I have a third. And as long as I can not do that, get a third strike before one of them falls off, I should be good. Although if they want to shut me down, they can definitely shut me down, because it's not like I haven't talked about some of the things that they don't want me to talk about. But, we'll just keep that to ourselves. Moving on. So this headline, the next one, from Sioux County Daily News. Now, here's the thing, guys. Whenever I read this headline, I was like, this can't be good. I read the article and I'm like, well, that's good. Finally, they kind of go the right direction on this. But at the same time, it's like, why in the world is this even necessary for them to do? Let's get into the article. Sioux County Daily News, the article says, Iowa SOS office gun rights amendment to be written into Iowa Constitution. And that's where it gave me pause. I'm like, there is no way this is going to be good. This can't be good. But the text of the amendment reads, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. The sovereign state of Iowa affirms and recognizes this right to be a fundamental individual right. Any and all restrictions of this right shall be subject to strict scrutiny. Okay, good job, Iowa. That's awesome. Finally, it'd be nice if Illinois did that, but that ain't ever going to happen. But anyway, thank you, Iowa. But again, why is it even necessary for something like this to be a thing? I mean, don't we have under the Constitution that, hold on, because it just so happens. I mean, I do. It is in here. Oh, there it is. It just so happens I have my handy-dandy Constitution with me right here. My pocket Constitution. I definitely recommend everybody getting one of these. But the Second Amendment, as if it's, pretty stinking important, right? I mean, the kind of equivalent that is pretty stinking important. It's only 3 lines in this thing. That's all it is. But didn't mean to hit the mic. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. It's right in there. It's right in there. This isn't even one of those rights that you have to kind of make up that's what it means. That you got to kind of go outside the basic English and say, oh, no, our founding fathers may have meant this. And if you have any question, just read the Federalist Papers or the Anti-Federalist Papers, and then you could, understand and read and hear about and find out firsthand what the arguments were and why they wrote it in there and worded it the way that they did. So that this way you can find out what the heck was going on, why they did it, what they actually meant. That's called, getting information right from the horse's mouth. It's kind of what that's called. It's pretty easy to do. But it's 3 lines. 1 sentence. It's pretty stinking awesome, right? But it's in there. It's not like, let's see, right to have an abortion, which doesn't actually exist in the Constitution, but yet they're trying to read it in there, interpret it, and it doesn't exist. Okay, this isn't something that they are trying to put in there by fiat. This is something that actually is in there, written in plain English, easy for anybody to understand. But it's, thank you, Iowa, for putting this in there. If we all could just acknowledge the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, what it actually says. Because again, I mean, it's not that hard to understand. I mean, it's a small document. There's not a lot of words in there. I mean, it's not like the tax code, for crying out loud. It's not that hard. Anyway, moving on. So I'm sure everybody knows by now that we had an election. Yay, the midterm elections was like November 8th or whatever it was, sometime last week. And, things didn't exactly go the way that Republicans wanted it to. But let's go ahead and look right quick at the map. This is from, I think, CBS News, NBC News. Where is it from? CBS News. It's from the Peacock. NBC News. Holy crap. I don't know why I have such a hard time with that. NBC News. NBC is Peacock. The eyeball is CBS. NBC, Peacock, eyeball, CBS. CBS? Anyway. This headline, GOP wins House by a slim margin, splitting control of Congress with the Democrats. So here we go. This has the maps in there, the elections that they had and which way they actually went. And right now, the Democrats have control. It is looking to be a 50-50 split, just like how it was with the 50-50 split between, Dems and Republicans. But right now, though, there is still a runoff election in Georgia that's going to be happening between Warnock and Walker. Now, here's the thing. If people get out and vote, and if, people vote the way that you think that they should, because what split the vote was there was a third party in there, the Libertarian Party, and the Libertarian Party got like 80 some odd thousand votes, which is what made it to where nobody got over 50% of the vote. So if those Libertarian votes go over to the side of Herschel Walker, which is where you would think that they would go, because how in the world can a Libertarian vote for a Democrat? I have absolutely no idea. But stranger things has happened. So there should be a 50-50 split between the Democrats and the Republicans in the House, in the Senate. Now, over on the House of Representatives side, it is 214 to 221 in favor of the Republicans. And there are still districts, it looks like, that have yet to finish counting and report. Still haven't called it. One of them being Colorado. One of the races in Colorado. 99% in Republican right now. The incumbent ahead. Slim majority. And then there's also one in California, which is Republican leader right now. 72% of the count is in. Another one, Republican is in the lead right now, 50.3%. 73% of the vote is in. And then, of course, you have Alaska with 87% reporting and the Democrat 48.7%. Only 87%, and we're talking 11 days ago was the election, and they still have yet to finish counting. That seems kind of ridiculous to me. They just don't want to call it. Brian puts in there, he goes, it doesn't matter, they're all fake anyway. And I know that was put up there a minute ago, or a few minutes ago. Yeah, a couple minutes ago. Not exactly sure what you meant on that one. I apologize. I didn't get to that sooner. My mind kind of goes quickly. Sometimes I don't catch those things whenever I should. But yeah, so we got the Republicans won the House of the House of Representatives by a small margin. Holy crap. And I think it was 218 to win. And, they got 221 and there's still, 1, 2, 3, 4 at least that have yet to be called. So, it's going to be a slim majority, but it's still going to be a majority. One of the things that watching the Fast and the Furious taught me, whether you win by an inch or a mile, winning's winning. And hey, we got it. I really wish we could have won the media, when you was talking about the peacock, well, yeah, you're right. It's all fake news anyway, so it doesn't matter. You're right. You're absolutely right. And thank you for letting me know what it was you was talking about. So yeah, anyway, I really wish that, and we should have, and that's the thing. That's the thing that kind of gets me about this whole election. We should have won by a lot bigger of a margin, as in Republicans, than what we actually did. Okay? And one of the problems is, well, the establishment Republicans, for one, because you had Mitch McConnell and just the Republican leadership that was pulling funding away from candidates that really had a good chance of winning, but they pulled their funding because, well, they weren't establishment Republicans. They were conservatives. They threatened Mitch McConnell getting leadership, and Mitch McConnell made a decision that he would much rather stay in power than the Republicans win a majority. That's really what it amounted to. Mitch McConnell is no better than a Democrat. We all know this. This isn't news to us. We all know this. And battle lines are already being drawn. Things are already happening. And to be honest with you, like I said, I really wish that we had a bigger, it's nice that it's a 50-50 split in the Senate. It really is. That's going to help us out quite a bit, because of the very, very slim majority that the Democrats had in the House of Representatives, made it to where they wasn't just able to ram everything that they wanted to get done down our throats, which is a good thing. And the same thing happened over in the Senate. Because they didn't have a real majority, it was a 50-50 split, with the deciding vote going to Kamala Harris being the vice president of the United States. They really had to work and fight for everything that they wanted to get done. And I really hope that the Republicans stick together, because if we don't, we're kind of screwed. We, as in the American people, we're kind of screwed if the Republicans can't stick together in the House of Representatives. We have a very slim majority. 221. We're going to have a 5-4 maybe majority. That's it. That's not very much at all. And with how many rhino Republicans we have in there, there's a very good possibility that that they're still going to be able to get done a lot of what they want to get done. But here's the thing, though. If Republicans are able to actually stick together and do what it is they campaigned on from the very beginning, then the Democrats ain't got a chance. Now, granted, we're not going to roll back anything that the Democrats have been doing for the past couple years, but we can stop them. Because remember, the House of Representatives is where all bills for revenue originate. You don't like something they're doing? Defund it. It's that simple. Because people, we are in extremely dangerous times. We really are. Government has been weaponized. The FBI has been weaponized. The Department of Justice has been weaponized. The Department of Education has been weaponized. Everything has been weaponized for political gain. I mean, have we forgotten what's been going on for the past, 6 years? Have we forgotten what's been going on for the past 6 years? Really? Everything has been weaponized. FBI, IRS, Department of Justice, Department of Homeland Security. Everything has been weaponized for political gain against Republicans. But we have an opportunity a real opportunity to stop the Democrat agenda dead in its tracks. Joe Obama disagrees with you. He can do it, executive order, and spend money. You know, and that's actually one of the things that has been telegraphed that Joe Obama is going to be doing. Joe Obama, that sounds way too close to Joe Mama. But yeah, of what Joe Obama actually intends on doing. He actually intends on doing a lot of things by executive order. But here's the thing, though, too. Yeah, I seen that, and we are going to be talking about that a little later. And Brian puts in there, he goes, yeah, poor old Donald Trump's getting another special counsel coming after him. Yeah. And I tell you what, it's, again, the weaponization in government, because this whole entire thing is to keep Donald Trump out of the White House because they are that scared of him. That's all it amounts to. Another special counsel to try to get a conviction on him, to try to make something up because they know they can't get it on their own. But again, we'll be getting into that. We'll be getting into that. Now, here's the thing. All right. Yes, we have a chance. It's a slim chance, but we have a chance. Do I actually think that anything's actually going to happen? Not really. I don't have any faith in the leadership, the establishment leadership of the Republican Party. I really don't. I don't have any faith in them whatsoever. They may talk the talk, but whenever time comes to walk the walk, the leadership in the Republican Party, Rhino Republicans in general, they always crumble under the pressure of the Democrats. Why? Because they are, in truth, Democrats themselves. That's the only reason why. Why did Mitch McConnell pull funding from people that had a good chance of winning? Because he's a Democrat and wanted to sabotage the election. Because he didn't want to have a majority and risk not having a leadership position in it. I can't get into that article. Can't get into that one. This article from CNN Politics. Democrats would have gotten crushed this election without young voters. And, you know, in a matter of speaking, I kind of agree with that. Because what was one of the things that they did in order to attract young voters? Well, they did that whole student loan forgiveness. Why? Because they needed to attract voters. Now, here's the thing. They knew that it was illegal, that it was unconstitutional, and they had no right to do it. But that didn't stop them from trying. And I'm sure that it didn't stop them from getting people to vote for them because of it. Oh, the Democrats are going to hand me free money. That's amazing. I have no doubt that people voted Democrat because they wanted free stuff. I mean, let's face it. That happens a lot. You know, that's one of them reasons why I say that if you don't have a stake in the game, then you shouldn't be able to vote. It's that simple. Because why should person A, whom does not pay a lick of money in taxes, who is a burden on the rest of the American people, you know, who is a, you know, who has a net gain when it comes to his relationship with government, you know, as in he gets more money back from government than what the government takes from him. That is somebody who does not pay taxes. They shouldn't be able to vote because they are not voting on where their money is going to go. They're only voting on getting more free stuff. That's all they're voting on. They should not be able to vote. Now, look, there's nothing unconstitutional about having a stance like that, and let me explain why. Back in the day, All right. In order to vote, you had to be a landowner. You had to have a stake in the game. Otherwise, you weren't allowed to vote. I don't necessarily say as if I agree with that, but the sentiment behind it, I absolutely agree with. Because again, if you don't have a stake in the game, if it's not your money that the government is spending, then you shouldn't have any say in how that money is being spent. None. None whatsoever. I believe in democracy. I believe in, well, not democracy how the Democrats like to put it, but we are in a constitutional republic. I believe in the democratic process, per se. But if you ain't got stake in the game, if it's not your money that's being spent, then you shouldn't have a say in how it gets spent, period. Brian puts in here, why did Lindsey Graham come out on national TV a week before the election and say they need to come up with a national law for abortion? What he did to people running for office. Exactly, Brian. That is an excellent point, because why did he do that if it wasn't to basically sabotage the election? Now, here's the thing, and this is the part about this that actually kind of cracks me up. Okay, this really does crack me up. Do people even understand the history behind Roe versus Wade? Do they understand what actually happened? How that, it's funny to me. The people that want to yell out, this is what democracy looks like, that has no idea what democracy is. Let me give you a little bit of a history lesson. I'm going to take a drink of my tea. Hold on. Oh, that's good stuff. Let me give you a history lesson. The people voted on abortion. The Democrat process. Because that's what we like as Democrats, as Republicans, the whole 9 yards. We like the Democrat process, right? The Democrats don't if they don't get their way. And whenever they voted on abortion, in California, of all places, they didn't get their way. The Democrats didn't get what they wanted. Now, the people spoke. The people made their decision. The people voted on it. The Democrat process. This is what democracy looks like. This is what we want, right? This is what the Democrats keep telling us that they want. The Democrats who were in control of California at the time, because so goes California, so goes the rest of the country. They didn't vote for abortion on demand. What? Yeah. The people of California didn't want abortion on demand. They wanted there to be limitations. They wanted there to be restrictions. They didn't want abortion on demand. They didn't think that ripping a child's head off or pulling a baby apart in the womb, or a partial birth abortion where they poke a hole in the back of the head, grab the shop vac and suck the brains out, they didn't really think that was a good idea. Maybe we shouldn't do it. But the Democrats didn't want that. They couldn't handle that. So what did they do? They went to the Democrat-controlled Supreme Court and had a bunch of unelected bureaucrats write legislation from the bench. Was that democracy? No. Was that people whom were, were they representing the Constitution? Let's see, abortion. The 10th Amendment. What's the 10th Amendment say? Huh? What's that say? First, I got to freaking find it. The 10th Amendment. That's the 20th Amendment. That was an oops. 10th Amendment. The powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it to the states, are reserved to the states respectively or to the people. What's that mean? Well, that means that the Department of Education isn't a federal thing. It's a state thing, and the states are supposed to be controlling it as per the Constitution. It's not a power that they have. That the federal government does not allow any type of regulations and restrictions for somebody's health care to be done on a federal level. Now, if you want to do it on the state level, then okay, hey, that's what this thing called freedom is, and that we have 50 different pools of freedom of the Democrat Republican, supposed to be a Republican type of a government that the Constitution guarantees to all 50 states. Not a democratic process, but a representative republic. But it guarantees that. If it's not a power that was delegated to the federal government or restricted to the states, then it belongs in the hands of the state. Abortion was not something that the federal government had any right to decide. The people spoke. The Democrats didn't like what answer they gave, and so they took it to the Supreme Court and legislated from the bench. That's how Roe v. Wade happened. Oh, but you want to talk about the Democrat process, and this is what democracy looks like. But yet, whenever the Democrats don't get what they want, they don't. Let me just tell you, people, the Democrats don't care about you and what you want. They will get their way. And if they can't get their way, then they're going to throw a temper tantrum and a hissy fit, and they're going to try to get their way anyway. Yeah. So that's how the Democrat Party works. Didn't you know? Anyway, well, I brought that article up twice. Ain't I an idiot? It's like I brought that article up twice. Ain't I an idiot? All right, so guys, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. And when I return, I'm actually a half hour into that. That's not bad. 36 minutes into it. Even still, that's not bad. So we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. And when I return, we're going to be talking a little bit about the border, what's going on down there, and yeah, we're also going to be talking about something I heard regarding a speech that Biden gave talking about Elon Musk, illegal immigrants. Yeah, we got some stuff to talk about. So just a couple minutes, and I will be right back as soon as I hit the right button. There it is. Have you ever been so full of it your eyes are brown? Have you ever sat on the toilet but nothing comes out? Is a box of frosted shredded wheat just not doing the trick? Well, have I got the ultimate solution for you. Tide Pod Brand Colon Cleanse. See, Tide Pod Brand Colon Cleanse is that particular product that will break through the sphincter like the Kool-Aid Man through a brick wall. Oh yeah! No more irregularity, no more cramping, just good old nice flow. That's right. Tide Pod Brand Colon Cleanse. Please use responsibly and use at home. This is a fast-acting product now available in Tropical Punch. And welcome back. And I figured, since we were talking about, different challenges on the last segment, that, I might as well come back to Tide Pod Brand's Colon Cleanse because why not? That reminds me, I need to go buy toilet paper. I ran out of TP. I got PT, but I'm out of TP. I need that. I need shift tickets. You thought I was going to say something else, didn't you? I didn't. Anyway, we are going to go ahead and jump right back into this. This next article that I've got is from the New York Post. Team Biden must stop gaslighting on secure border as crisis is about to get drastically worse. Yeah. Because that's what they keep on saying, is that, the border is secure, even though we have like 200 or anywhere from like 100,000 to 200,000 coming across like every, I don't even know. It's a huge number. It's a huge number. It's ridiculous. And that's just the people that we know is coming across. All right. It is bad down there. Nobody's going, but besides some Republican senators and governors and representatives, nobody's going down there. Kamala Harris, even though she is the border czar, she ain't going down there. Biden ain't gone down there, at least nowhere, not close enough to the border to say he's going to the border. But they're refusing to go. They're refusing to go because they know how bad it is. And if they go, cameras will follow. And they want to try to keep you in the dark. And so they're not going. I'm actually kind of surprised that the New York Post even put this article out here because, we know that they keep on, toting the water for the Democrat Party. Mainstream media. Ha! Now, this next article from the Daily Wire, Democrats have sick ideas on how to grow the population. I don't know what the whole sick idea part of it is, but I heard something not that long ago. All right. And I wasn't surprised by what I heard, and it was basically one of them things that, I don't even remember who it was that was saying this, an interview or, something that some guy said somewhere not that long ago. Man, I really wish I had more. I remembered this better, but I'd heard about this and it stuck with me, kind of. Okay, I'm setting this up really, really bad. Let me just tell you what it is I remember about this. But it was, the illegal aliens, or at least aliens in general, whether they be illegal or legal or documented or undocumented, I believe is how he worded it. But, they're necessary to America because, there are more of them working than Americans are working, and of which case, quit paying Americans to sit on their couch and collect benefits, and that they are having, or, because that we are not having babies enough to replenish our population, we have to welcome all of them in. We have to, because our population is dwindling because we ain't having kids. Well, if the past 2 years and really three, because, with the whole COVID's thing, the economy being shut down, this is what happens to the economy when the Democrats have complete, or at least enough control, that this is what happens. Okay? This is what happens when you basically give the Democrat Party unfettered control of the economy, of government, of the border, of taxes, the whole 9 yards. This is what happens. High corporate taxes, out of control spending, inflation through the roof, gas prices the highest that we've seen in what? Ever? This is what happens. So, yeah, they might be working more, but that's because you're paying American citizens to stay at home. Stop paying them to stay home and they'll get out and work. We still have yet to reach pre-pandemic employment numbers. We ain't done it. Chuck you Schumer. Yeah. We've yet to do it. We've not reached pre-pandemic numbers yet. Cost of living is high enough that Brian puts it in here greatly. He says, we can afford to have kids because we got to pay for our own kids. We got to pay for everybody else's too. Exactly. And here's the thing too. If we would stop killing our babies, maybe our population could grow some. They want to yell about gun laws. If it saves just one life, isn't it worth it? And then they want to sing the praises of abortion on demand, fourth trimester abortions, partial birth abortions. But yet if it can save one life, maybe we should do that. I've heard it said not that long ago that the Democrat Party, Democrats in general, aren't pro-choice. They're just pro-abortion. They're not pro-choice. Think about all the choices they have restricted you to have over the past 3 years since the start of this pandemic. Do they want you to have choice? No. They want to make all of your choices for you because they don't trust you to make your choices. They want to rule by fiat your entire life. So, so we're not working. Yeah, because the federal government is paying people to stay home. Our population isn't growing enough. Yeah, because you want to kill them before they have a chance to be born. Uh-huh. Well, what's the problem here? Oh, yeah. Maybe we should be protecting life, and maybe we should expect people to, earn a little bit of something. What are you doing? Oh, that's funny. So this just popped up. I got to show you this. What is a woman? Exclusively on the Daily Wire. Watch now. Yeah, that's a question that the Democrats can't even answer. What is a woman? They can't answer that. They can't answer that question at all. And it's funny. Ask them. Listen to their response. They can't answer it. It's ridiculous. It's the most ridiculous thing you will ever see. Anyway, moving on. Now, this next article that I have for you should absolutely terrify and infuriate, in equal parts, every single person. Okay? This absolutely would. And this is all because somebody didn't want to play by the Democrats' rules, wanted to, upset their hold on social media. This article from, I have no idea, Jonathan Turley, maybe? Let me find it. Yeah, jonathanturley.org. That's what it is. Worth being looked at. Biden supporters launching national security review of Elon Musk's Twitter purchase. I don't know if y'all necessarily caught that whenever Joe Biden was saying this on Wednesday, November 10th. But he was talking about, that whole purchase of Twitter, and that, this might be something worth looking into. Now, here's the thing. There's no probable cause. They have no reason whatsoever to think that anything illegal is going on whatsoever. But yet, because Elon Musk is going against the Democrat hold on social media, that it's worth looking into. Kind of like what they're doing with Donald Trump. Now, look, I'm not comparing Donald Trump and Elon Musk. This is two totally different people. But what I am saying is, just like Donald Trump, Elon Musk is rocking the boat, and he's upsetting the status quo. The Democrats are all fine as long as they have complete control. They're starting to lose a little bit of that, and the Democrats don't like it. And so Biden just gave the green light for an investigation on Elon Musk. Brian puts in here, he goes, the problem is the people that are for abortion are already born. And I've actually said that before. It's a shame that your parents didn't have the same point of view that you do, as far as those that are against abortion. It's kind of a shame. Just throwing that out there. I agree with you. So like I said, this article from Jonathan Turley should infuriate and terrify you. No probable cause. And yet, because Elon Musk is upsetting the status quo, Biden said, it might be worth looking into. They are weaponizing the banking system. If you make a purchase or you spend anything over a certain amount of money, then the bank either can or has to notify the federal government. Here's the thing. If you have large, and this is completely subjective, completely subjective, not objective. But if you have large amounts of money on your person, now one, having cash on hand at any quantity, there is nothing illegal about doing that. However, if you have an amount that is deemed to be too much, then they'll confiscate it. They'll treat you as a criminal. What law did you break? Well, you didn't. But they'll detain you, they'll investigate you, and they will treat you as a criminal even though you have broken no crime. If they, if they exercise a search warrant at your house and you have large portions, large quantities of cash, they'll take it, confiscate it, and treat you like a criminal. What law did you break? None. But what they claim is only drug dealers and criminals have large quantities of cash. So if you have large quantities of cash, then you must be a drug dealer, a criminal. What law did you break? None. They're weaponizing banks, and they're making it to where you can't even have your own cash because they want to track and monitor every single purchase you make, period. They're wanting to do away with cash. I mean, we already, for the most part, live in a cashless society. There's a lot of things that you can't purchase cash in hand anymore. There's a lot of things you can't purchase cash in hand. That you have to go through some sort of banking institution, however you want to word that. You got to go through a bank to make these kind of purchases. You can't just buy it cash in hand. And this has been happening for numerous years, especially with larger purchases. You just can't do it. But the bottom line is they want to track you. Everything that you do, they want to track you, period. I don't know why I put that article where I did. So we're going to kind of backtrack a little bit. This article from Fox News. Why do I keep trying to press that button? I don't know. Cruz fights D.C. Push to illegal immigrants. Vote for bill to withhold federal funding. I really did a horrible job trying to read that one. Cruz fights D.C.'s push to let illegal immigrants vote with a bill to withhold federal funding. There we go. That was a little better. But that goes back to the article I was talking about back here with Democrats have sick ideas on how to grow the population because they want these people to be voting. Illegals to vote. That's what they want to do. But according to this poll, this is from the Daily Signal, the majority of Hispanic voters want government to do more to enforce immigration laws. Well, duh. Because this is something that they don't want you to know. Brian puts in here, he goes, sounds like what the January 6ers are going through too. Yeah, absolutely. With the whole worth being looked at, the Biden supporter launching the security review of Elon Musk's Twitter purchase. Or I'm sorry, with the banks just looking at you as a criminal. Yeah, probably that one right there. That's probably what it was. But yeah, the January 6ers going through, yeah, because you have people that are being held, detained in federal prison for almost 2 years now that have yet to be charged with a crime. And those that they have been charged with, even though the January 6th committee are wanting to claim this as an insurrection, not a single person is being charged with, are you ready for it? Insurrection. Isn't that interesting? Here, this is insurrection. That they were trying to overthrow the government. But yet not a single person has actually been charged with insurrection. Interesting. Yeah. But back to this article from the Daily Signal. Majority of Hispanic voters want government to do more to enforce immigration laws. Because here's the thing. With people that actually belong in this country, those that are actually paying taxes, those that aren't benefiting from this in some way, shape, or form, with the Hispanics that actually immigrated legally, did what they were supposed to do, they want the federal government to enforce the law. That's what they want. Over the past 2 or 3 elections, there's been a significantly growing number of Hispanics that has been voting for Republicans. Why? Because they are more pro-law and order. Just like the whole student loan forgiveness is a slap in the face to everybody else. Not just a slap in the face to people who went to college, got a student loan, and paid that loan back, but for every other taxpayer who now have to float the bill for all of the student debt that we just got done paying off because, hey, that debt is now ours. I didn't sign up for that debt. I didn't go to college. I didn't benefit whatsoever. Why aren't we forgiving all loans? If we're going to forgive one, we should forgive all. Anyway. Brian puts in here, he goes, did you see the 3 more Illinois counties voted on a resolution to leave the state of Illinois? It's up to 23 or 26 now. Really? And no, I did not see that. Man, I'd really like that to happen. I really would. A North Illinois and a South Illinois. That would be absolutely amazing. But here's the thing, okay? In a matter of speaking, I don't necessarily see it happening, and here's why. The Democrats want D.C. to become a state. Democrats want Puerto Rico to become a state. Dominican Republic to become a state. They want this to happen because it'll be Democrat-controlled states. Even though Washington, D.C. to become a state would be absolutely 100% against the Constitution, that's what they want. It'll be another Democrat-controlled state. Now, Chicago is full of idiots. I don't think they quite understand the fiscal aspect of this, that the only reason why they have the ability to do and have the stupid things that they have in Chicago, with the policies and the rewards and everything that's going on up there. The only reason why they have that is because downstate is paying for everything. There is no way in hell that the Democrats in Washington, D.C. are going to allow Illinois to split in two and basically make a Republican-controlled seat in D.C. They don't want it. They're not going to allow for it. It'd be 2 more senators in D.C. that are Republican-controlled. I don't see Chicago, they're pretty stupid. I don't see them pushing back on that whatsoever. Oh, yeah, we can do this without them. But D.C., no. I don't see that happening. D.C. don't want another 2 seats in the Senate to be controlled by Republicans because that wouldn't give them the majority. They don't want it. It would be nice. It would be amazing. I would love to see it. A split somewhere around I-80 as long as it's, south of Springfield, and that's a good split as far as I am concerned. But at least if we get rid of, of course, Cook County. If I could zoom in on that picture that I had up a while ago, because it was like, the counties and the voting districts that were blue and red, and it was everything in Illinois was red with the exception of basically Chicago, Peoria, and Champaign. Those 3 cities, those 3 counties, pretty much that's where all the Democrats are in this state. No, there was a couple more than that. Let me actually, because Brian puts in here, he goes, the only county that voted blue were up around Chicago. That's why old fat got back in. But let me bring this back up. And this was from NBC. Mid-term election. I really need to resume your journey. Where's that at? Wow, there it is. The election map. That's what I'm looking for. If I could actually zoom in on this better, I would. Let me go ahead and pull this up, though. But you see Illinois right here. I believe this is what, Rockford area or something. I don't know, but yeah, Chicago. And, oh, holy crap, what is that one? I don't know what that one is. But yeah, the rest of the entire state is blue. I mean, you got northern, and I'm still not sure what the heck that is. I don't know. They do voting districts weird. They really do. But yeah, the entire state, with the exception of, it's that I-80 line is basically what it amounts to. You get everything north of I-80, you just cut it off, and then the rest of the state is absolutely amazing. The rest of the state is golden, pointy boy. But yeah, why that, Pritzker? Yeah, somebody was like, oh, did you vote for Pritzker? I did not vote for Gravy Sweats. I believe that's what Brandon calls him. Or, the machine radio show. I think it's Governor Gravy Sweats or something like that. That's what he calls him. But anyway, moving on. Talked about that already. Oh yeah, talked about that one. Where are we at now? Do not allow. All right, so there's something going on down south at the border. Okay. I don't know exactly how true any of this is, but I don't care about that one. Apparently, Governor Abbott has basically declared an invasion at the southern border. And this headline from the Daily Mail. Now, again, I don't know how much truth is in here. I have no idea. Anyway, let's just talk about the headline. Now, Texas Governor Abbott sends tanks to the border after threatening to send gunboats as Republican invokes invasion clause to deal with migrants flooding over the border. Now, here's the thing. It's about stinking time that they start to actually do something. They've kind of tried to, get in there and build a wall and do some stuff, but the federal government's like, no, even though it is Texas, it's still a border, territory, and of which case is under federal purview, and it's our land to control, not yours. And of which case, my response to that would be, okay, federal government, if it's yours, then do your duty, defend the freaking border, and this way we wouldn't have to. That's what this whole thing amounts to, isn't it? If the federal government did their damn job, then it wouldn't be necessary for governors like Abbott, hey Abbott, to get in there and do the federal government's job. It wouldn't be necessary if the federal government did their damn job. Period. End of story. Now, I don't know at this particular point in time how far along any of this is, if he's actually putting tanks on the border. I have absolutely no idea. It'd be nice if he did. We need to do something down there, don't we? We need to keep people from crossing, don't we? I mean, the Pete. It amazes me how you have people that claim to be pro this, that, and the other. They claim to be for kids, for women's rights, for freedom, anti-drug, anti-gun, and yet ignore what is going on the southern border. It amazes me. I ain't going to lie. Do the people not really know? Do we not know what's going on the southern border? The fentanyl, that's crossing. The cartels being completely and 100% in control of the border. The people that have died on both sides of the border by the hands of the cartels. Slave trafficking, sex trafficking, child trafficking, child sex trafficking. Women who have to take not precautions, but prenatals and some type of birth control because it's a guarantee that they're going to be raped on the road to come to America. Do we not care what happens to these people? Any of them? And this is what's going on. People like Hillary Clinton, AOC, pro-women's rights, except for the people that are coming here in hopes of a better life. Because under President Trump's presidency, things were working. Illegal crossings were down. The stay in Mexico order was working. Sex trafficking, human sex trafficking, child sex trafficking, the fentanyl that was coming across the border, and God knows how many terrorists actually made it across the southern border. All of that was down because President Trump took his oath of office serious and believed that these people, the good people that wanted to come across, was worth saving, and the bad elements that we don't want in this country deserved and needed to stay out. And I agreed with him. Things are bad down there, and things are only about to get much, much worse. We're going to go ahead and take another break. And when I return, we are going to cross into the crux of today's episode. And that is talking about what we should be expecting over the next 2 years with a Republican majority House of Representatives and a Democrat majority Senate. What we should expect from just a little bit of everything of what's going on. Just a couple minutes and I will be right back. Don't go nowhere. It's about to get good. Have you ever had an ailment that a normal over-the-counter remedy just couldn't fight? If this is the case, then boy have I got the solution for you. Tussin. That's right, Tussin. Cough? Tussin. Cold? Tussin. Runny nose? Tussin. Itchy watery eyes? Tussin. Broken leg? Tussin. Tussin is the ultimate cure-all, guaranteed to stop anything that ails you. Tussin. Available wherever OTCs are sold. All right, and we're back. Woohoo! Brian puts in here, goes, I read the Title 42 is coming back. You know, it's awesome that you mentioned that, because I actually have an article, as soon as I scroll up to it, where it talks about just that. As soon as I freaking find it. I got a lot of articles in here. I really do. And if you would like to check out all the articles that I found it, all the articles that I use in the show, you guys can head on over to thehohoshow.com. Just click on that newsfeed tab, and there you will see my magazine on Flipboard. And just go by date if you're looking for it. But this article from Fox News, as Brian was talking about, I'm sorry. Massive group of migrants hits Texas border as end of Title 42 looms. There has been more than 72,000 illegal crossings in the Del Rio sector since the start of October. And so evidently the end of Title 42 is looming. And I didn't really get into this to find out, when it's said to end. The end of the Title 42 enforcement approaches, as it says. Early Saturday, as agents face tens of thousands of illegal crossings each month, and as the end of Title 42 enforcement approaches. But anyway, yes. A lot of numbers in here too. But anyway, yeah. But 42 is coming back. That doesn't surprise me, though. I mean, it really doesn't. Again, the Democrats really like all these illegal aliens coming over, because their mindset is that all of them coming over, unlike people coming up from, Cuba that are, trying to run away from a communist controlled state, that these illegal immigrants from Mexico and Central and South America, that they would be so grateful to the Democrat Party that they would just, unmatched, unquestioned loyalty to the Democrat Party, the ones who gave them free stuff. That's what their belief is. That's what they're wanting. Unlike, Cubans coming up whom are escaping and running away from communism, who are more likely to vote Republican. Well, they don't want anything to do with them. They send them back home. They're like, you can't come here because you're going to vote Republican. We don't want you. So, I mean, if you go to Canada, If you go to Mexico first, well, then sure, yeah, you could come on up. You can come up from Mexico, but just don't come from Cuba, because, then you're fleeing communism. You're not going to vote for communism, so you're more apt to vote Republican. But that's just, but anyway, moving on. Where are we at? We're right here. So let's go ahead and get into it. Now, first of all, I want to start off by saying that I have a lot of respect for the Democrats, okay? I really do. I've said that before in the past, because the Democrats, it doesn't matter if they hold office, they hold power. All right, let me say that again. Democrats hold power, regardless of if they are holding office. This headline from Axios. Democrats make quiet history with state level gains. You see, that's what the Democrat Party has been doing for quite some time. They didn't start by going straight for the presidency with their communist and socialist agenda. Okay, they didn't go straight for the presidency. They started local, running for dog catcher, running for these, for school board, running for these various offices. They built their foundation first. Why is it so hard to get rid of the Democrats? Because they built their foundation first. They started from the ground up, not from the top down. We're trying to win back America by going from the top and going down. And we're wondering why we're having a hard time fighting the Democrats. They built this whole thing of government from the ground up. They started locally. They put all the right people in all the right places in order to get the results that they wanted. They did it quietly. They did it in secret. And by the time we knew what was even going on, by the time we as ostriches took our head out of the sand and was like, hey, this ain't right, it was too late. Because it wasn't just the presidency that they had gone for under, Barack Obama. They had put their people in place in all the right places. But they built their house from the ground up, and we are trying to take it down from the top going down, and, without taking a lesson as to how the Democrats even first built the house. I'm not saying that we shouldn't go at it from the top. What I'm saying is if we are actually going to truly affect change, we have to attack it from both ends. Excuse me, let me take a drink. We've got to attack it from the bottom. We got to take their feet out from underneath them. Sweep the leg, as they said in Karate Kid. Which one was that? I think that was the first one. Johnny, yeah. And no, I have not seen Cobra Kai. I think I've seen like an episode or two. It's about the extent of it. No spoilers. I do actually want to watch it, but I just haven't gotten that far yet. But anyway. We're trying to take back the presidency. We're trying to take back various, the House and the Senate without taking into consideration that the reason why the Democrats are able to inflict so much damage is because they have built this house from the ground up. So we can't destabilize them unless we attack it from both ends. We've got to sweep the leg. We got to come at it from the bottom. We got to put our own people in all the right places to actually affect change. That's what we got to do. That is absolutely what we got to do. Now, this article from Politico, okay, playbook, how a Dem Senate changes the next 2 years. Now, here's the thing. In a matter of speaking, we're not going to get anything different than what we have already seen for the past 2 years because it looks like it's going to be it's going to be a 50-50 split. Meaning if there's anything that they want to get done, they're going to have 100% support from all of their people And then they're also going to have to rely on Kamala Harris to be that deciding vote in the Senate. A 50-50 split, meaning we're just going to get more of the same. Now, before we hear Republicans whining and crying, like I had said before, no, we're not going to get anything out of this. We are not going to actually be able to roll back anything that the Democrats have done, but we can stop it. Even if we had both chambers of the legislative branch, the House of Representatives and the Senate, if we had both, it still wouldn't change what we were able to accomplish, because it doesn't matter, because even if it does go to the president's desk, it's not like he's going to sign some of the crap that we were going to put it in there. And even still, do you honestly believe that good old Mitch McConnell and some of these other people in leadership are actually going to do what they campaigned on and actually be the change that we voted for them to be? Or do you think we're just going to get more of the same out of the Republican Party? Unfortunately, I wish I would be wrong on this, but I just don't see the change actually happening. I don't see it. I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't have a lot of faith. I'll believe it when I see it. Because unfortunately, I have been let down way too many times by the Republican Party, by the establishment, by the RNC. I've been let down by them all the time. They make excuses. They'll vote a resolution, but they won't actually vote to do something when the vote actually matters. That's what they do. I ain't got no faith in them. I'll believe it when I see it. I think the Republican Party is dead. That's just me, especially whenever you have players, posers like Mitch McConnell that would throw away leadership of the Senate to the Democrat Party because he doesn't want to lose power. Because that's what happened. So what do I think we're going to see out of the a Democrat-controlled Senate? More of the same. Sorry, I hit the microphone. However, we have a Republican-controlled House of Representatives. Now, again, it's not a large margin, and I really wish that there were a large margin. I really do. Because, I've said it once, I'll say it again. There are far too many rhinos in the Republican Party. These are people who are Democrat, but they fly the banner of Republican just to get reelected. It's not hard to find out who these people are, but they're a bunch of posers. And, if it were up to me, I would kick every last one of them out of the Republican Party. Why they're still in there, I have no idea. They say all the, again, it's the same old, same old. They say all the right things whenever it comes time to run for an election, but then they get to Washington and then they vote like a Democrat. They talk like a conservative, but they vote like a Democrat, and apparently we, the people, are too damn stupid to get them out of office. Sorry for screaming. It ticks me off, though. They keep touting and screaming and whining and crying about, we the people, about we need term limits because heaven forbid these people spend all their lives in Washington, D.C. You know what, people? Quit your crying. We already have term limits. Vote them out of office. And if you don't see the change in D.C., then become the change. Run for office. Stop whining and crying. Run for office. we've seen a lot of newcomers over the past few years actually get elected. If a stupid barmaid from New York can get elected, as in AOC, she's not the brightest crayon in the box, but she got elected. A truck driver got elected not that long ago. There's been a lot of newcomers get elected. It's not outside the scope of possibility, is what I'm saying. If you don't have somebody in Washington that is running as a senator or a representative, if you don't see somebody running that you would like to vote for, then you be the one running. We need more people running. We need to get rid of these incumbents. We need to get them out of office. Don't be crying about we need term limits whenever all you got to do is either vote for somebody different or run your own self. Then you ain't got to worry about it. Be the change. I know I've said that before. I'm unelectable. Otherwise, I'd probably run. I think it'd be fun. It'd be entertaining. What kind of candidate would you be? Watch my podcast. Listen to my podcast. It's available everywhere. You'll know what kind of person you elected. I ain't going to hide myself from nobody. And no, I'm not running. It ain't gonna, I mean, dude, could you imagine? My vice president would be Brandon. Oh, holy crap. Tell you what, though, the debates would be interesting. You know, you want some snark? Whoo, boy, it'd be fun. It would be entertaining. Let's just put it this way. Debates, it would be entertaining. Get Gatton up on the debate stage with some of these people, and we're going to have some fun. We're going to get to the bottom of some stuff, and I'm going to be calling some people out, and it's going to be fun. It'd be very, very entertaining. I would actually like to run for president because that would be even funner. Ain't ever going to happen. No, I'm just saying. Ain't ever going to happen. But man, would it be entertaining? It'd be a show. I'd travel. I'd get there. I'd find a way. It would be very entertaining. Anyway, moving on. So what else happened this past week? Well, what was it? Tuesday? This headline for Fox News. Well, no, that's not the one I'm wanting. Whatever. How a 2024 announcement would immediately impact Trump and whether it would clear the GOP field. Now, here's the thing. I've been hearing from several people, and this was before President Trump actually did announce. But, you know, people saying of when he should announce, that he should wait till after the midterm, this, that, and the other. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to be honest with you. I like the idea that he didn't waste any time after the election to go ahead and announce his candidacy, his running for 2024 election. I'm glad he did. Why am I glad he did? Because if you're serious about running, don't surprise these other candidates and completely sabotage them for their own run at the White House. Okay, now here's the thing. I'm not saying that there shouldn't be a primary and that, you know, President Trump should not have to earn your vote. I'm not saying that at all. But here's what I am saying. You're going to immediately clear the field and people won't be wasting money on a hopeless campaign, because the sooner you announce as you know, the former president and likely candidate as President Donald J. Trump. Why make somebody waste money in campaigning whenever there's no way in hell that they would actually get the nomination? Like Jeb Bush. Ain't no way in hell he's getting the Republican nomination. not above Donald J. Trump, not above Ron DeSantis, not above a myriad of other people, like a Ted Cruz or, several other people that ran last time. Not last time, but the time before that, 2016. We have a pretty good amount of number of people that are great candidates, and I'd have absolutely no problem voting for. But it would be unfair for Donald Trump to wait for the last minute, and people's already spent a butt ton of money on a campaign that wouldn't be going anywhere. Now, here's the thing. Like I said, I'm not saying that there shouldn't be a primary. There absolutely should be. Let's bring back Harry Truman. Now, who was it that actually, there was another president whom ran that served two non-congruent terms as president. Presidents of the United States in order. Sure. Let's okay. So, list of presidents in chronological order. Maybe I know there's one in here. List of U.S. presidents. Okay. So, and this I know happened relatively early. Van Buren to no. That's not it. No, it happened after that. Grover Cleveland. Who was it that did that? But nope. Was it Harry Truman? No. Okay. Yeah, I got no idea. Was it Cleveland? Oh, okay. So, yeah, okay. So I don't remember who it was. It was Grover Cleveland. Okay, so yeah, Grover Cleveland served as both he was the 22nd president. He lost the next election to Benjamin Harris and then won again after that. So he is the only president to serve two non-consecutive terms as president. And I think if anybody else is going to do it, President Trump would be such a man to do it. Now, like I said, though, okay, he doesn't immediately have my vote because there should be a primary. We've got a lot of good candidates. I mean, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Now, if I'm being perfectly honest, here's what I would love to see. Here's what I'd love to see. Now, before you say that, President Trump is toxic, that yada, yada, blah, blah. Look. Do you honestly think that, let's say if Ron DeSantis ran and won the primary, that the Democrats wouldn't be attacking Ron DeSantis? You're an absolute fool if that's what you think. It doesn't matter who the Republican nominee is, who the candidate winds up being. It doesn't matter. They're going to get attacked by the Democrat Party. Period. End of story. That's what's going to happen. It's not like anybody's going to fare any better. Okay? There's only one person that may not get, I don't want to say not get attacked, but maybe not get attacked as hard, and that's somebody like Jeb Bush. Why? Because Jeb Bush is an establishment Republican. That's why. The establishment wanted him in office. So they would have been fine with that. But here's what I'd love to see, though. I would love to see. I would absolutely love to see. Are you ready for this? Trump DeSantis. That would be amazing. Are you kidding me? Trump president, second term, with Ron DeSantis as the vice president. And then Ron DeSantis coming back the next year, to 2028 as president, and maybe do 2 terms there. That would be epic and amazing. Absolutely, I think so. Because here's the problem that I don't want to see Republicans fall into. I do not want to see a repeat of 2016. Never Trump, never Cruz. I don't want to see that, because the only people that benefits is Democrats. That's it. That's the only people that benefit from that. Let's not do that. Let's not be the type of Republicans the Democrats wants us to be. Let's not play their game. Okay? Let's not play their game. Now, here's the thing. Do I think it's going to happen? No. Do I think Ron DeSantis is going to get into the game? I have no idea. I don't know. In a matter of speaking, I hope he doesn't. And part of that reason why I hope he doesn't run is because I don't want to have to choose. Maybe that's selfish. I don't want to choose Trump or DeSantis. I really don't, because, granted, I want Trump to win. I absolutely want Trump to win. Yes, I do. But man, Ron DeSantis would make an amazing president as well. Just look at the job he's already done in Florida. Brian puts in here, he goes, he's got my vote because he already has a proven track record. Exactly. And that's either way you look at it, whether you're talking Donald J. Trump or Ron DeSantis, they have a proven track record. They've already done it. They've already proven that they're fit for the job, and they can do a far better job than any Democrat has on the field right now. Obama included. Trump has proven himself with his policies, the things he was able to do while being under constant attack by the Democrats and having zero support from the Republicans. It is amazing what that man was able to do in 4 years with no support and constant attacks and criticism and zero support at all. Not just by the Republicans, but mainstream media who did nothing more than say, dude, didn't he have like 90 some odd percent of negative news coverage, news media coverage, something like that. It was ridiculous. Brian also puts in, goes, Jeb Bush is worthless as his other brother and his dad. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely, we've had enough Bushes in office. You know what I mean? But man, I really don't want to choose. It was bad enough having Trump and Cruz. It really was. I'll be honest though. In the primary, I voted for Cruz. I'll flat admit it. In the primary, I voted Cruz because Cruz was the person I knew. And he's the one during the primary I voted for. I did not vote for Trump in 2016. He was a wild card, and my fear was he was a Democrat. He was somebody else that was talking the talk, but wouldn't walk the walk. Now a lot of that was my own problem. Because if I actually would have done my homework on the man better than what I did, listened to interviews that he had conducted over the years, then I would have voted for him in the 2016 election because he hasn't changed his policies. You know, unlike Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, you know, any Republican, he's not changed his stance on things. You know, you listen, I mean, it's amazing. I mean, you listen to his interviews from way back. Like even going back into the 80s, he's the same guy now as he was back then. I mean, it truly is amazing. But his policies, his beliefs, his ideas of right and wrong hasn't changed. Yeah, he's a piece of work. Yeah, his Twitter feed was, oh, boy howdy, aren't you glad that Twitter handle didn't affect policies in the White House? Aren't you glad? I mean, I'm so glad. But you look at what he did, what he was able to accomplish, whom he was then and whom he was. I mean, it shouldn't be any surprise. If I would have done better homework on Trump, there is no doubt in my mind that I would have voted for him in 2016. I absolutely would have. But my thing is, I don't want to have what happened last time happen again. I don't want there to be a split in the Republican Party of never Trumpers and never DeSantis. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that fight. I don't want to see that mudslinging show. I don't want to see those attacks. I really don't. You know, what I would love to see happen is Ron DeSantis to just quietly go to Trump and be like, hey, look, I'll be your VP. I'll be your second. I'm not going to run. I ain't going to go against you. I want to put my hat, my name in the hat as being your VP. I would love to see that. Because that would be a winning ticket. Abso-freaking-positively. And then you have 4 years of Donald J. Trump as president. So what if they impeach him? I don't think they would accomplish it. But let's just say, for better, you have 4 years, 4 more glorious years of Trump. And then after that, you get 4 years, possibly 8 years of Ron DeSantis as president. Wow. Wow. We need to stop the Democrat Party. We really do. We need to put an end to their power. We need to topple the regime. We need to attack it, not just from the top, but from the bottom, because they have put all the right people in all the right places. And if we don't get something accomplished now, we're in for some hurt. We're in for some hurting. Now, should I take another quick one and then come back? Yeah, we're going to do that. One more quick break, and then we're going to finish up the show. We're going to be talking about what has been going on in the Democrat Party after the announcement of President Trump running for re-election. And also with what we are expecting out of the Republican Party now that the Republican Party has control of, it's bound to be interesting, guys. We're going to talk about this right after this quick break. Don't go nowhere. Do you love your occasional Mexican dish or your musical fruit? Are you tired of walking by family members and crop dusting them? Well, if this has ever happened to you, might I introduce you to Tampons brand butt plugs. Tampons brand butt plugs is that particular type of butt plug that allows you to walk in public in confidence knowing that you're not going to accidentally crop dust somebody. Tampons brand butt plugs now with the plastic applicator.
Not just for women anymore.
Tampons brand butt plugs. And we are back. So guys, before I go any further, I've got to talk about this. So my favorite show host, radio personality, all around good guy, Mr. Alex Exum, coming up this Christmas, the Iguana Gang, which is the 6th radio drama that he has produced. Just 12 hours, 7 minutes, and 40 seconds away. You can head on over to theiguanagang.com to reserve your tickets today. That is, I believe, 7 or 6. What time is that supposed to be? I know. You know, it was funny because I was like, I don't see the website because I went over to alexexum.com, which is his main site. And I'm like, I don't see anything for the Christmas show because I know the Christmas show is right around the corner, just over a month away. And I'm like, I don't know what the website is. And normally he has a link on his main page going to something like this. I'm like, I don't know. It's like, well, wait a second, it's the Iguana Gang. Maybe it's theiguanagang.com. So I went ahead and I typed that in. I was like, holy crap, that actually worked. So yeah, head on over to theiguanagang.com. You got some good stuff in there. A countdown. You got, this is all kinds of stuff in here. You know, all kinds of stuff. Let me go ahead and scroll on through this. You know, gives you the countdown. You can buy your tickets today over there on eventbrite.com/Alex Exum, my assumption, or the Iguana Gang. But just, you know, click, get tickets. What is it? The Iguana Gang. But it takes you over here. $10 tickets. Check that out. But it gives you a small synapse of the people that are in it. You know, some art in there. Links even to get into his voice.com accounts and get some collectible NFT art, which are very awesome things. I have a few in his collection. Definitely recommend checking those out. But he's, you know, this is his, like I said, his 6th show that he's done. Good shows, they really are. I really do hope y'all were able to catch the last one, which was, what was his last one? Just this past Halloween. What was it? Oh, yeah, the Diabolical Dr. Stein. Awesome show. Awesome show. Really was a good show. But, yeah, check this one out. Theiguanagang.com. That is the IGUANAGANG.com, written and directed by Mr. Alex Exum. This Christmas, and, you know, if I was good at math, and, so yeah, it looks like it's actually going to be 9, 8, 7, 6 p.m. No, 6 a.m. Really? Like 6 a.m. on Christmas? 6 a.m. Pacific time on Christmas. Really? 35 days, 12 hours, 4 minutes, and 42 seconds because it's going on 9 o'clock now. 12, you know, that's an a.m., 9 a.m. Eastern. Or, I'm sorry, 9 a.m. Central. You know, I can do math when it comes to time zones and whatnot. I really can't. So I hope I'm right on that. But that's, you know, Christmas Day. It looks like 9 a.m. Central Time, so that's 7 p.m. or 7 a.m. Pacific Time and 10 a.m. Yeah, so that's not the time I thought it was going to be. I might have to double check that and whatnot. But anyway, yes, head over to theiguanagang.com, check that site out, and reserve your tickets today. Just $10. It'll be a good radio drama show. It really will be. I'm looking forward to it. Anyway, let's continue. let us continue. So after, Nancy Pelosi not able to hold on to power in the House of Representatives, she decided that it was time to step down as Democrat leader. So she's not even going to be running for the Democrat minority leader over there in the House of Representatives. She's going to be passing the baton. That's funny. Passing the javel to somebody else. Not like she's going to have it anyway, but, going to be no longer, after 20 years, she's no longer going to be the head of the Democrat Party over there. Oh, yeah, by the way, Brian put over here, he goes, I'm expecting Hunter Biden to go to jail. Ha! You know what? I'm hoping so as well. I really am. And that's one of the other things that has been going on in the Republican side, because Jim Jordan has already talked about investigations into the FBI handling of Hunter Biden's laptop and just going after the Biden crime family in general. Even possible impeachment, depending on how these investigations goes. And whenever I heard about this special counsel into Trump, another last-ditch effort by the Democrat Party to make it to where President Trump can't run for re-election, which is all this is, a last-ditch effort. Sad, really. I mean, it's sad. But yeah, a last-ditch effort to try to get him with something, even though their last 3 attempts have yet to work. 2 of them outright failed, and the 3rd attempt with the raid on the Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida didn't come out with the evidence that they quite wanted, or at least they wasn't able to get any dirt on him to rub in his face and prosecute him over. The best that they have right now is, well, we might be able to get, an obstruction charge out of this. It went from secrets. Well, it went from classified information to, stuff that he shouldn't have regarding nuclear capabilities in some states, to he's got some stuff that he shouldn't have, to, well, maybe we can get obstruction out of him. That's what this is. And you think that they haven't weaponized the FBI? The Department of Justice? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Last-ditch effort by the Democrat Party to make Donald J. Trump unelectable. Because if they can pin something on him, then he can't run for office. Which is hilarious because, what they tried to what they did impeach President Trump on was that whole quid pro quo, withholding money from Ukraine. Well, that's something that Biden actually did and bragged about it on national TV. So if it's okay for Biden to do it, why isn't it okay for Trump to do it? And Trump didn't actually do it. All he was saying was, hey, look, you guys are getting all this money, and we have concerns over, corruption. And, well, the Democrats aren't going to do anything about this. Maybe you guys can, because, we don't really want corruption to be going on in your country. And so I'm kind of concerned about this. Can you do a little something? Because my government doesn't want to, because, my government's all about the Democrat Party, and, well, they're not going to do anything about it. So maybe if you guys do something, then you'll force the hand, and maybe we can get something done over here. Oh yeah, by the way, here's the money. That's what he said. That's what he did. But yet that was bad. But what Biden did was perfectly okay and acceptable. Really? Okay. So you got Nancy Pelosi stepping down as the leader of the Democrat Party in the House of Representatives. You have Jim Jordan saying all the stuff that we intend on doing, because Jim Jordan, I believe, is going to be head of that committee that'll be doing that. Investigations galore, investigating the Biden family syndicate. Maybe finally we can get some answers and get some justice. Maybe, the FBI might actually do what they're supposed to be doing and quit being a political, hit piece for the Biden family syndicate. Maybe that would be a good thing. Just maybe. And you also have a last-ditch effort by the Democrat Party with a special investigation going after President Donald J. Trump. Because if President Trump actually makes it back into the White House, can you imagine what that would look like to the swamp? Can you imagine? They've done nothing more than attack him. Even though there are some rules in place protecting them, the president still has a lot of wiggle room in the functionality of these branches that operate under the authority of the executive branch, like the Department of Homeland Security, like the Department of Education, like the Department of Interior, and yes, like the FBI, the CIA, and the Department of Justice. They are all part of the executive branch, under the leadership and supposed to be under the control of the President of the United States of America. They've done nothing more than attack him and piss him off. He has a lot of wiggle room, and I would really like to see just how much. But I don't see there being any difference in the reaction of either Trump or DeSantis if they were to win the nomination and get elected into the White House. I don't see there being any difference whatsoever. We know Trump is pissed. We know he's pissed. How could he not be? Do you really think you're going to get any type of a different reaction out of DeSantis? Because let's just say he runs. Do you think the attacks by the Democrat Party, by mainstream media, by social media, Facebook, is going to be any less for him as it is and was for Donald Trump? No. And you're a fool if you think there is going to be any difference, because there ain't. Do you really think that he is going to stand for either? Especially after what Donald Trump showed the American people, that yes, you can fight back and win. Yeah, he got attacked for 4 years. It's possible. There are definitely stories that I did not get to Because Garland named special counsel to lead Donald Trump-related probes. That's from the Associated Press. Trump investigation proves Garland running a Biden protection racket, says Jarrett, I guess. But, so, again, head on over to thehohoshow.com. There you will see under the newsfeed tab in the upper right corner, the magazine on Flipboard, to see every single article that I use in the show. That is all I got today, guys. We went a little bit long. I've been so used to doing hour-long shows, and here recently, like the past month and a half maybe, it's been 2-hour-long shows, man. It's been quite a bit. And there's still even an article that I was holding back that I didn't get to because I'm like, I just can't talk about that. I just can't talk about this article from something that I can't even pronounce. I can't talk about it. Because I would be talking about stuff that they just don't like over there on YouTube and would give me a third strike. I just can't talk about it. I can't talk about it. And by the way, I do have access to my local again. The time has lapsed. I can live stream on there again. I might be doing that coming up soon. Maybe next week. I don't know. But guys, that is all I got. I thank you very much for tuning in, stopping by, and participating in the show. If y'all have any questions, get a hold of me, hoho@thehohoshow.com. And don't forget, head on over to theiguanagang.com. Check out the website. Get your tickets today for this Christmas. I'm sure I'll have more better and accurate information on the next episode next week. So, y'all have yourself a great one. And let me get to this music because it's really hard to say, bye-bye, I'll see you, ta-ta, farewell. This has been The Ho-Ho Show. For more information, you can head to thehohoshow.com. And for the merchandise store, you can head on over to stinkpickle.com. That is stinkpickle.com. Until next time.